Hi, I'm Kamel Fisher, and you're watching the Sequire Spotlight, brought to you live here at the LD Micro Invitational at the Four Seasons Hotel in Westlake Village. With me, I have Mr. Hamid Shahbazi. Did I say that right?
You did, thank you.
Awesome. This is the Chairman and CEO of Well Health Technologies Corp. Welcome.
Thank you, it's great to be here.
Wonderful to have you. The ticker is WHTCF. I did miss saying that, but I want to hear more, and of course our viewers as well, about what Well Health Technologies gets up to.
Thank you. We are a practitioner-focused digital health company, which means we develop tools and capabilities to help healthcare practitioners be more successful and get the benefit of digital health and digital technologies in their practices. So there's a transformational effect that occurs in terms of improving patient outcomes, economic output, and really just reducing the burnout and the burdens and administrative challenges in being a healthcare practitioner when healthcare practitioners do use some of the latest tools available to them.
Wonderful. I mean, definitely post-COVID, somewhat post-COVID, there probably was more of a need for that. Would you agree, or?
Yes, in fact, I started the business a couple years before COVID started, and I did so because it was amazing to me that there was such little digital transformation that had occurred in healthcare.
Right.
Understanding that there's a lot of change management, structural challenges in healthcare. It's tough to get healthcare practitioners time. You're dealing with very sensitive data, so change does take longer, but it is a massive sector that had evaded digitization to a great degree, especially in the outpatient clinic market. And so COVID represented a multi-year acceleration in how practitioners adopted and thought about technology.
Right.
But virtual care is not the basis of digital health. There's so many other aspects to digital health.
Right.
And so that's a big part of what we do is we're helping on the front office side, the back office side,
Got it.
and really trying to improve software and workflow all around.
Got it. Excellent. What are you most passionate about? It sounds like there's a lot of, it's passion within everything you're saying, but what stands out the most for you?
I'm really passionate about our ESG values. I'm really passionate that we are creating societal value with Well. We are at the heart of healthcare. Why? Because we help healthcare practitioners. At the end of the day, it's not companies that provide care to patients. It's healthcare practitioners. And no matter what, we're still in an environment where healthcare practitioners are that force that connects with patients and provides that care, hopefully on a longitudinal basis, in terms of understanding their needs over a long period of time. And so providing them with tools and technologies and making them better is a passion for us.
Wonderful. So I understand that, we all understand that the market's been pretty interesting the last, say, 7-8 weeks. How do you see, the buzzwords like inflation and rate hikes impacting what you're doing?
Well, the great thing about healthcare is that it's quite defensive. 93% of our revenue is either recurring or highly reoccurring because of the patient demand and the physician resources that we have in our business. So we're a two-sided network. And so, certainly stocks are down, and healthcare is one of the battered sectors, especially healthcare IT. But we're beating and raising expectations, not something that not a lot of companies are doing. We generate significant amounts of EBITDA. We're cash flow positive. We have a very strong business, and so we're just focused on running our business. We know that the markets are what they are, and we know that we're in an end of cycle time. So the beginning of the cycle is around the corner.
Absolutely. So you're saying just going about your business, running it as you should to ensure, the successful outcome, post this market crisis. What are you doing exactly to, what strategies are you guys deploying as part of your operational flow?
Yeah, so we are generally looking to deliver around what we call a rule of 30 performance, in terms of our financial metrics. That's a combination of our organic growth percentage and our operating EBITDA margin. And we've been around rule of 30 for the last few quarters, and it's something that management's focused on for the next few quarters as well. And the idea there is not to over optimize for any one of those two vectors. So
Right.
not trying to over optimize for growth or profitability. We are trying to trend a bit more towards cash flow and profitability, just given the times right now. But we still want to be around that rule of 30, and that means cost optimizations, running your business efficiently. It means continuing to allocate capital for M&A. We just raised a little bit of money at a time when it's been hard to raise. So a lot of people
Right.
ask, why did you do that? And it's because I wanted to give the company, improved defensive posture, but also offensive posture.
Right.
We're at a time when asset prices are going to decline, and we want to be able to take advantage of those opportunities when they arise over the next few months. We think it'll be a historic opportunity to accumulate assets.
Awesome. What would you say are some of the the challenges that you're facing?
Definitely people, costs.
Right.
They're impacting different aspects of our business in different ways, and we're doing a lot of planning, a lot of financial planning and analysis, and that's why we've been able to beat and raise. And we still feel very confident, notwithstanding the cost pressures and the people pressures out there, that we can be successful. But it takes a total team performance, and we got a great team working on it. So
Awesome. So about the team, let us hear more of who your board of directors are, who's your management team, and what do they bring to the table?
yeah, we've got a great team. Our chief medical officer, his name is Dr. Michael Frankel, fellow South African
Hello,
with you.
South Africa.
We have a fantastic operating team. In fact, a lot of them worked with me in my last startup.
Right.
And so a lot of us have actually numerous years of operating history together.
Right.
On our board of directors, we have a small but very engaged and helpful team. Tara McCarville, looked after the Canadian practice for healthcare at PwC when she was there. We have entrepreneurs, we have capital markets folks on the board. So, very focused on ESG. We're getting excited to release our first ESG report.
Wonderful.
Major ESG report. So we're very, very pleased with that. And we have a lot to look forward to. The business has been very strong, but we understand the markets are the markets. So.
Good, as long as there's understanding, right? That's the premise for growth, I guess, and success. So what are some of the future catalysts that we should be watching for, in your opinion?
I think earnings has been a catalyst for us. We've had a history of beating and exceeding consensus targets and raising.
Great.
So we feel pretty good about that, and our financial performance and planning, I think, is on point. And because so much of our business is highly predictable, that's a key. So I'm excited about our earnings events. The other thing I would say is continued M&A, but on a smaller scale,
Right.
focused on smaller tuck-in assets. The smaller the scale, the better the multiples we're finding right now.
Right.
Especially in the primary care space. So that's an area that we're very focused on. Just elevating the performance of our cash flow and seeing better cash flow yield from the greater than $250 million of gross profit that we generate yearly.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
that kind of ties into my next question, which would be to summarize the company's bottom line performance. I mean, do you feel like you've touched on that enough, or is there anything else we should be
Sure.
aware
Yeah.
of?
I mean, I'll just say, we generate, on a run rate basis. I think we've indicated publicly that we believe we'll generate over $40 million of free cash flow this year.
Right.
Generally, analysts believe that, and the consensus is about 100 million in top line EBITDA Canadian dollars for the year, and right now are about $525 million of guidance we've given for our revenue. So pretty good metrics, growing nicely, we're excited about our business, and we think stock will take care of itself.
Excellent. Great attitude to have. So I want to dive a little deeper into Mr. Hamid Shahbazi himself. Tell us about your background, why you've entered into this space, and what drove you.
Sure. I mean, I'm an engineer by education.
Yeah.
I started a tech company called TO Networks that was very focused on, financial payments for the underbanked, the low to moderate income. It was a business that was all about creating access and for emergency payments at a lower cost and saving people money, and we were very successful at doing that. And to a great extent, Well is about creating access for higher quality healthcare, but still leveraging the same kind of premiums that people were paying before. So
Right.
we think that, especially in Canada, to a great degree, people pay with their time because there's such long wait times, and
Right.
we've been quite successful in impacting, consumers and patients
Right.
by creating a better experience for them, which ultimately translates into better patient outcomes,
Right.
because they'll go to the doctor more in a more timely way.
Right.
So for me, it's fun to get to do what I do. I have a great team, and it's really a family at the company. So,
Awesome.
thanks for asking.
Of course, yes. I guess I'm asking most of my interviewees this question, and it's, with all your experience and your years of dealing with different companies, different people, what would you say is a life lesson that you can impart to our viewers? Just some kind of life motto that you live by?
Sorry, say that again?
A life motto or a life
life-
lesson that you could impart, just given all your experience.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's a few, and the one that I would think about right now, there's a couple maybe, but what I've been telling my team lately is you plan for the worst and you aim for the best.
Right.
So at end of cycle times and times when of uncertainty, macroeconomic uncertainty, I think you want to think of it like that. The other is, have you ever heard of the Stoic saying "amor fati"?
I have not.
Okay, so
Amor
it literally
fati?
means love your fate.
Wow.
And so the sort of ancient philosophers, Marcus Aurelius,
Love your
Epictetus, Seneca, all these guys, they used to really believe that everything happens to you for a reason, and
Right.
and it's human to question your fate,
Right.
but if you embrace it and you go with it, usually good things happen. So
Acceptance is key.
There you
Going
go.
with the flow.
Yeah.
I'll teach you a South African,
Sure.
ancient South
Yeah.
African word, and it's Ubuntu. Can you say that?
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, good job. And that means humanity for all, and it just basically means that I am because you are.
I like that.
And yeah, I love
It's a
that.
very popular software now, Ubuntu.
It is,
Yeah.
right. I didn't mean to give them a shout out, but no, it's about
Now
the
we
South
know why they
African
use
word.
that word.
Right?
There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, give us 3 takeaways that you'd like our viewers to know before we close off, and let us know where we can find more information.
3 takeaways. So takeaway number 1, Well is a profitable, resilient company with defensively postured that I think is going to be able to weather any kind of macroeconomic decline handily
Right.
because of the literally virtually unrestrained demand for healthcare services. Why? Because we have a significant practitioner force, over 2,000 healthcare practitioners that practice inside Well's patient services businesses. That's the economic engine of the business. And the second thing that I would say is that we our growth and our profitability. So we're not over optimizing on both. We're a well-balanced company. And the third thing I would say is that we have a history of meeting and exceeding our expectations. And so, in good times and in bad, we've been able to, deliver as a management team.
Excellent. Very well said. Where can we find more information?
You can find more information at www.well.company. And you mentioned the U.S. ticker and the Canadian ticker is WLL.T. So
Well.
you got both.
You got it.
There you go.
Wonderful, Hamid. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
This
it.
is the Sequire Spotlight, and stay tuned for more.